Grab your cup. Have you ever tried affirmations to try to move through something in your life? Let's take money, because that's such a common one for people. Affirmations became popular several years ago, right? Just write out your affirmations, say your affirmations every day. And maybe you've been doing that and nothing really has shifted. Or not only affirmations, but meditation, right? Like, let me meditate and visualize, but nothing's really shifted. Here's what I want you to know. There's a couple of things that are happening. Number one, if you're writing out affirmations or meditating on something that you don't inherently in your body, in your subconscious, believe is possible for you, not only will you not get the results, but you'll actually create more stress, which I'll talk about in a minute. But let's use finances, for example, because that's one that people, I think, commonly go, I feel scarcity. I feel like I don't have enough money. I feel like my situation is hard. Let me do affirmations. So you're saying things like, my bank account is so full and big, or $1 million. I have $1 million in the bank, something like that. But what you believe about yourself and about money is not congruent with that. So if you believe about yourself, I don't deserve that. There's nothing about me that deserves or is worthy of $1 million. I don't have anything special. I don't have the skills. Or your beliefs around money are, only certain people have big bank accounts. Only certain people are successful. Only certain people will make that amount of money. If that's what you believe about money, subconsciously, or even somewhat consciously, or about yourself, you're not congruent with your affirmations. And now you feel more stressful. So when you're writing them out or when you're actually meditating, you might feel better during that time period when you're in the practice. But as soon as you go out into the rest of your day, you're more stressed out about it, because you're trying to convince yourself, like in your body, in your spirit, you're trying to convince yourself of something that you do not believe. It's like jumping into chapter 4 of a book. You haven't read the first 3 chapters, and they set the whole stage for what happens from chapter 4 on. So chapter 4 is where the affirmations and the meditation are, but chapters 1, 2, and 3 are all about uncovering and healing those thoughts and beliefs about yourself. But you haven't done that. It's not going to work. I'm going to call it wounding, because whenever we have thoughts that are like, I don't deserve this, I'm not worthy of this, I'm not good enough, it can't happen for me, life is scarce and hard, I don't have what it takes, that's wounding. Because how you were made, when God made you and your soul was birthed into your body, those thoughts were not there. They got taught to you in different ways, by what your family said, what you heard growing up, what those earlier experiences, those earliest experiences taught you, how you then decided to see yourself. That all got shaped. And if it's not in the truth of how God sees you and how you were made, which is fully lovable, fully worthy of really whatever you want, fully deserving of any kind of life that you want to have. Now, that doesn't mean you don't go take actions, because that's the next part of it. A lot of people will do affirmations all the time, but they don't change their actions. They're like sitting there and waiting for the affirmations to magically make something happen, or the meditation. They're waiting for God to bring it because they're praying over and over. You have a physical body that has to take action in a different way. That's the other piece, is your actions won't be different if you haven't shifted how you believe. Your actions are going to be congruent with how you believe, and you're going to keep getting the same results. You'll keep living in scarcity, or you'll keep having relationships where you are not fully connected and listened to and loved in the way that you want to be, because you don't feel like you deserve that. So chapter 1 through 3 has to come first. You have to look at those beliefs, heal the wounding, and then when you move into the more spiritual practices and you take the action that's congruent with what you want, you get the results. You really do. But if you've been writing out affirmations, saying them every day, and or meditating, and they're not congruent, not only is it not happening, but it's causing more problems. Because here's the thing. Now you say to yourself, I've been doing that for 5 years or 10 years. Nothing's really shifted. And what comes with that is a whole level of shame. So you already feel unworthy, undeserving, not lovable, not good enough to have that kind of lifestyle, that success, that amount of money, whatever it is. And now, well, look, I've been writing out affirmations, I've been meditating, it's still not happening. That just really confirms even more your already wounded beliefs. And it brings a level of shame. Because if you are jumping ahead to chapter 4, so you've gone and researched tools and you've looked to see what do I need to do, and then you don't have the results, now you feel shameful about that. And shame is something, I tend to view the Bible as more metaphors than exact, like reading the Bible like literally. I feel like it's a lot of metaphors. That's my perspective. But shame is what's talked about in the Garden of Eden, right? It was when shame came upon Adam and Eve that their whole relationship with God changed. Before, they didn't notice that they were naked. They didn't hold shame. To me, the metaphor about that is when we come here, we know the truth of who we are. We don't hold shame about ourselves. But now when life is happening and we're holding shame, so shame contributes to all the wounding. If you're holding shame because when you were little, somebody told you you were stupid, or you weren't invited to a party, or you're holding shame because you never really felt lovable. And now you add more shame on top of it because you're doing all of the things and nothing's changing. It's reaffirming how you're not good enough, and it's increasing your shame. That will never get you the results that you want. Believe me, I know. I've done that. It's been part of my journey. You have to do the healing first. You have to release whatever the wounds and the subconscious beliefs are. You have to be congruent with what you're saying you want to create. You have to be congruent in here. And then you have to take the actions that are in alignment with those things. So they're different actions than you've had before. And if you don't do that, more shame is going to show up, which is going to disconnect you further from the truth of who you are, from God, from your spiritual self. Shame is the thing that creates the gap. That's the work that we do together. That's the work I do with my clients. And it has been decades-long journey. Don't waste your life 1 minute longer trying to figure it out and struggling. Let's do the work. Contact me, because all of that is the process. Okay? Drop me a comment if you've tried affirmations and they haven't worked, or drop me a comment if you want to have more information about doing that work together. I'll be looking for your comments. Have a good day.